So in the last week, I made this video for work. I read through the comments and a lot of people started asking how we made that video. I wasn't sure where else to share it, so I'm just gonna show you guys how to do it here. It's going to be through Adobe After Effects. If you guys have that program, great, stick through. If you guys don't, still stick through. Maybe there's some tricks that you can learn from here that you can, transfer those skills to a different software, since most of the editing softwares are pretty similar. All right, let's get started. All right, so we're back on my computer, and on my computer you can see After Effects open up. The example I showed at the beginning, it takes a little while just because rotoscoping is a pretty powerful feature, so depending on your computer it might run quickly or not as quickly. So I'm just gonna do a shorter one for the sake of this tutorial. So let's first start off with a new composition, and we'll just call this rotoscoping tutorial. Now in this rotoscoping tutorial, your timeline will be here. You can see you don't have anything, and let's first start out bringing a video in that we'd like to use. So I like to use this one. So the point of rotoscoping is you're taking out a part of that, a part of the video out, so you can put stuff behind it, or you can overlap other videos on top of each other. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to split up this footage so that I can pick out a certain part that I want to rotoscope out. So example, I want to rotoscope myself out from here. No, actually let's pick a better one. Oh, where'd it go? From here, let's go in frame by frame so that I don't catch any unnecessary frames. Make things easier in After Effects. Start here. We're gonna end it right as my shadow disappears. So right around here. Get you more technical and go right there. So from this beginning point and end point, I press B to put the end point here, and N to put the ending point there. And I want to work with this specific part of the footage. So I'm hit Control Shift D. At the beginning right there, I'm gonna hit Control Shift D, and that's gonna cut it for me and put the second footage on a new layer. So I'm gonna do the same for the ending. And now I have this clip to work with. Now to turn off the rotoscoping, you just want to double click on that layer, and it's gonna bring you to this screen. And then you can hit the roto brush tool on the top, or you can use the shortcut key Alt W, and then you can get this. You always want to start at the beginning and then let After Effects do the rest for you. So you're gonna scroll to the beginning, and then I'm going to scroll to a frame, or slide to a frame where I start entering. So right there would be my foot right there, peeks in. So I'm just gonna click that, and when I click it, you can see that there is a purple outline that basically After Effects basically says that this is a starting point. Not starting point. This is the part of the footage where I want to select a certain type of pixel. In this part of After Effects, After Effects basically just marks what pixels that I'm selecting. It's very similar to Photoshop's Quick Select tool. Everything's by pixels, so they'll do everything by themselves. But the thing about rotoscoping is that it's a little bit tricky because it is a moving picture. You will want to go frame by frame, and you can see that it's doing a pretty good job selecting the pixels that are coming in. So the rest of my foot is getting selected, but you can see that the bottom of my cardigan isn't getting selected. So I just want to select that at the very beginning, when it first peeks in right there, and then move to the next frame and see how it gets unselected. It's because After Effects doesn't recognize it. It's too similar to the background. So I'll click it again. You can also drag it to draw as well. And then it would do the rest for you right there. Now, there's another part of me that comes in that After Effects isn't going to detect because it doesn't register as the same pixel. My head. Oh, actually it does. It does a pretty good job about it. But I kind of want more of it selected right away. With rotoscoping, the more time you spend on it, the more refined it will be. So I'll just quickly go through this. But when you guys do it, just make sure you guys take your time with it, just so it selects more. Alright, so it selects my whole body pretty well. Now I'm going to scroll to the beginning, and I'm going to hit the spacebar, which is the play button, and I'm just going to let After Effects do it by itself. You can see on the green bar right there, it says RotoBrush propagating a certain number of frames. So you just hit spacebar, and then it's running. If you click here and go through, you can see that that bar is going up. So now we just sit, wait for it to go up and reach its end. Alright, so you know, it's gonna render for a while. When I did the video for the company I worked at, it was a quick 15 seconds. But this is enough to show you guys what I'm going to be doing. So again, just treat, when I walked over to the next side of the pillar, you can see that my foot points out but nothing's selected. So you just do the same here and then let the rest render out. So for example here, you can see that I am completely rotoscoped out. So if I was to go here, you can see this is the main composition. You can see that I have completely scoped myself out. If I could, there it is, there I am. There I am, just completely, you know, selected out of that frame. Now you can see here that I get a little bit kind of like these weird halo outlines. Sometimes you don't want that, so you can just go to the left side to your effects control, and you can just play around with reducing the chatter. Reducing the chatter makes the feathering a lot more crisper, so it gets closer to your selection. You can also play with Shift Edge and just play around with the settings until you get something that you'd like. But for the purpose of this tutorial, what I'm actually aiming for is to put a background under myself. So as you can see, this footage is me walking, and this footage is also me walking, but the background. So it's overlapping each other. So if I just move to like a different part of the video, you can see, there I am again. Now when this happens, you can see that it's just me walking twice. And that's pretty much how I did the hyperlapse, or not hyperlapse. That's pretty much how I did the rotoscoping effect for that other video. I just placed them at different times, and then I recorded myself walking through the scene multiple times and, you know, just looped it so that I'm constantly walking across, but I'm still in the same frame. There's other ways of doing it, which I can show you as well. It's really quick. If you can see this file right here, this timeline, all I did, oh, not that timeline. If you can see from this timeline right here, all I did was cut the frame in half and cut the pillar in front. So the pillar is by itself. The pillar is by itself, and I just cut the frame in half so that I can position myself twice. that's pretty much how I did that effect. This is the easier and quicker way of doing it, but you want to use rotoscoping, you want to get more into detail just because there are more things you can play around with. So for this frame, you can see that the frames are cut like in half like that. In that sense, you can't put anything behind. So if you do this rotoscoping technique, you can put things in the same frame and it won't be bothered at all. So for example, I can put text right here. I can be like rotoscope tutorial. Let's make this big so you guys can see. Rotoscope tutorial. And with rotoscope tutorial, I can change that layer to the back, and now I'm walking in front of that title.
Thanks for staying till the end, guys. That's how you pull that off. If you guys would like to learn anything else, comment below. Give the video a thumbs up if you're able to follow that tutorial. And subscribe for more. Till next time, guys. Peace.